If you're out there looking for a job, you know the feeling, right? You send out what feels like 100 resumes and crickets. It's like you're just shouting into a black hole. It's pretty clear that the old way of just applying online is, well, broken. So what actually works? Let's get into the strategy that really moves the needle. First things first, let's just get real about the numbers. The average success rate for landing a job just by applying online is a measly 2%. Yeah, you heard that right. That means for every 100 applications you fire off into the internet, you might get 2 bites back. So listen, it's not you, it's the system. But here's the flip side of that coin, and this is a big one. Up to 85% of all jobs are actually filled through networking. That huge gap, that tells you everything you need to know. The so-called hidden job market, it's not a myth. It's where the opportunities are. And the key to unlocking it is all about human connection.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. The word networking just makes your shoulders tense up, doesn't it? It conjures up these images of awkward conversations, forced smiles, feeling like you're just trying to use people. And hey, you're not wrong to feel that way. But what if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backwards?
So in this explainer, we are going to completely reframe networking to make it feel authentic and, believe it or not, something you might actually want to do. We'll kick things off with a problem, then we'll shift our mindset, get some practical tools, learn what mistakes to avoid, and wrap it all up with a super clear action plan. All right, let's dive right into the heart of the problem, the job search paradox. Why is it that the thing we all do, applying online, is also the least effective way to get a job? Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on.
For starters, the competition is just insane. A single job posting can get hundreds of applications. But here's the kicker. Before a real, live human being even lays eyes on your resume, it has to get past the robots, the applicant tracking systems. These programs scan for keywords, and if your resume doesn't have the exact right phrasing, poof, you're out. That's why clicking Apply again and again feels like you're just playing the lottery. The odds are totally stacked against you.
Okay, so if blindly applying is a dead end, networking is clearly the way to go. But, and this is a big but, to do it right, we need a complete mindset shift. We have to change our entire approach from trying to take something to trying to learn something.
And honestly, this right here, this is the whole ball game. The reason most of us hate networking is because we're doing it transactionally. We're connecting with someone just to ask for a job. It feels slimy and self-serving because, well, it is. The game changer is relational networking. Here, your goal isn't a job, it's advice. You're just genuinely curious. You're trying to build a real relationship. It feels good because it's authentic.
You know, the bedrock of this whole approach is trust. This quote from Forbes really nails it. You can't build anything real if you're not being authentic. When you show up with genuine curiosity and you're just honest about wanting to learn, people actually want to help you. Trust is what makes the whole thing work.
Okay, so we've got the mindset right. Now let's get you some tools. This section is all about the practical, hands-on techniques you can start using right away to build those real connections.
And the number one most powerful tool in your entire toolbox is the informational interview. Let's be crystal clear about this. You are not asking for a job here. The goal is just to learn. It's a super low-pressure chat where you're asking for someone's story, for their advice, for their perspective. It's the absolute best way to get real, honest-to-goodness, insider information.
And the questions you ask make all the difference. You know, a small tweak in how you phrase something can completely change the vibe. Instead of a blunt question like, "Can you help me get a job here?" you can ask something much more thoughtful like, "What skills do you think best prepare someone for a position like this?" See the difference? You're turning a demand into a genuine, curious question.
So how do you actually ask for one of these chats? Here's your cheat sheet. First, no generic copy-pasting. Ever. Personalize every single message. Tell them why you're reaching out to them. Lead with that curiosity we talked about. And hey, it's 2024. Go ahead and use AI to help you write a first draft, but always, always add your own human touch. Then, make it super easy for them to say yes. A quick 20-minute call sounds a whole lot better than a big ask like, "Let's get coffee."
So the conversation was great, but you're not done. The follow-up is where you turn a one-time chat into a lasting connection. You've got to send a thank you note within 24 hours. And don't just say thanks. Mention a specific piece of advice that really resonated with you. If you can, offer something back. And then just keep that connection warm with a check-in every now and then. That's how relationships are built.
All right, we've got the mindset, we've got the tools. Now we need to talk about what not to do. Knowing the common traps is just as important as knowing the right moves. Let's look at the biggest mistakes people make.
So a lot of these big pitfalls are the exact opposite of what we've been talking about, right? Being transactional, being fake, forgetting to say thank you. But that last one on the list is so important. Only networking when you're desperate. You have to think of your network like a garden. You can't just ignore it and then show up demanding vegetables when you're hungry. You got to tend to it over time.
Look, all this information is great, but information without action is just trivia. So in this last section, we're going to take all these ideas and turn them into a simple step-by-step plan you can literally start today.
And this doesn't have to be some huge, scary thing. Just look at this breakdown. Week 1 is just getting your own house in order. Week 2, you just send 5 emails. That's it, 1 a day. Week 3, you find 1 online event to pop into. And by week 4, you're having your first conversation. See? These are small, totally doable steps that build incredible momentum. And if you ever, for a second, doubt where your next big break might come from, just listen to this story from a user on Reddit. This person was getting nowhere for 8 months, and then their grandaunt in Florida just happened to mention it to her neighbor whose son was an engineer. Boom. Interview. You truly never know.
And that's really the main takeaway here. Your network is so much bigger than you think. Literally everyone you know is a potential contact. The trick is being really specific about what you're looking for, and then just assuming that people generally want to help. Because you know what? They usually do.
So I'll leave you with this one question. Forget about the big, grand plan for a second. What is the one tiny step you can take today to start building a real connection? Maybe it's just sprucing up your LinkedIn profile. Maybe it's sending a text to an old coworker just to say hi. Or maybe it's just writing down the name of one person you'd love to learn from. Just start there.